And we're live. Welcome everyone to the 10th and final car launch for the 2024 Formula 1 season. Roll intro. It's time to see the Red Bull, which, I don't know about you. What's this going to look like? Oh, it's so unknown. Look, we all know what we're going to see today, okay? We all knew already. And we all definitely know, because we've all seen the shots of the Red Bull driving around Silverstone, sounding like R2-D2. I know it's because there's a drone, but it's funny, all right? But obviously this launch is steeped in interest, particularly because it does appear that Christian Horner is at the launch, which obviously we know currently there's an investigation going on him. So who knows, look, you can speculate all you like. We just don't know what's going to happen with that. But we know he's going to be there. So it'll be interesting to see if we hear anything from him. But in terms of the car itself, it's not so much the livery. Yeah, we all like to analyse the livery, okay? Me more than most. And we know they've got a format with their livery that they like to stick to. And it's almost certainly going to be the same again. But aerodynamically, at least from the outside looking in, side pod inlets are looking interesting. Want to see the legit shots of the side pod inlets looking like overbite instead of underbite. Front wing as well. Look, Red Bull, Adrian Newey, Pierre Wache, all these lot, they're not stopping, okay? They are continuing to develop this car. This RB20 is going to be a serious machine. They're going to set a serious mark for the rest. Waypoint for the rest. But welcome Arlington, Max, Mr. Eyeball, Seb, AP, Lalo, Dedicate Days, F1 Unchained, Moki, Warstat, Tom Hayward, Iconics, Big Sandwich, Gillian, Dominant, Dragon Warrior. Thank you, Dominant. Appreciate that, by the way. Tina, Alexander, The Flying Spy, Beverin, Amy, Laddie, Evan, ACS, The Pokemon Guy, Blondie, Kelly, Marcel, Marius, Halita, McLaren Fan, War, Rafi, Ira, Leon, Fabrizio, Josh, Dashing Fox. Thank you all for coming. So, right, as per, we have screen share set up with the launch prepared. We also have Twitter ready. So you can see they've got to put some nice mood lighting, some purple mood lighting to set the scene. I do miss the purple days. Maybe I will implement a little bit of a purple into my redesign. I'm not sure if I will actually. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this live when it's live. Yes, the suits. Actually, you know what? Tina, good shout. Obviously, the merchandise. We've seen that already, so it gives us a lot of idea of sponsors, and they seem pretty much unchanged year on year, which is interesting. I feel like this year, apart from the obvious, example against that, which is Sauber, most of the sponsors for most of the teams have stayed quite similar. Like a few have added, like obviously Williams have Komatsu now, but like McLaren is very much unchanged. Red Bull seems very much unchanged. Ferrari is very much unchanged, apart from Peroni have come over. Sponsor-wise, it feels like these cars, I don't know, I feel like in previous years, there were more sponsors kind of coming out of nowhere. Oh yeah, and obviously vitamin carbohydrate, as Daniel Ricciardo called them. But apart from those examples, like the teams that haven't massively changed up, don't seem to have massively changed up in terms of sponsorship. But yeah, we've got the racing suits. The racing suits are just an evolution on what we've had before. Very much the same. They've gone with these kind of lighter blue, which doesn't feature in the livery, or hasn't been featuring in the livery. Maybe it'll feature in this one. I don't think it will. I think this is reserved for the merchandise. In the same way, right? Hang on. Right. McLaren. Sorry, McLaren. We need words, right? Because I can't even spell McLaren. McLaren, right? Quick one for McLaren, right? Where's a shot of one of them wearing merch? Come on, give me right. Hang on. Why is there still blue here? Why is there still blue in the merchandise? I don't get it. They've dropped the blue from the car, but they've still got it on the new merch. And I understand. Whatever. Anyway, today is not about the McLarens that are papaya. It is about the balls that are red and blue and yellow and navy. Hello, Isaac. Good day to you too. But yeah, so this is what's going to be, again, aerodynamically is more the intrigue around this new car. Waiting for a helmet ranking. Well, maybe a driver suit ranking as well. Might have to. Yeah, I mean, the Red Bull suits aren't much of a departure from the norm. From the norm. Minton's downstairs. He just had his dinner and I'm leaving him downstairs because Hannah is going to be home soon and he'll go crazy when she gets home. So, does Max have a cold? Max looks ready. Checo. I'm really concerned for Checo this year. I'm not going to lie. I'm really concerned that it's going to be another painful year for him. As the intro rolls once again, which is, we'll let it roll. It's a good intro. I don't know. I don't see where it's. I don't see any logic to kind of latch onto to be like, oh, it's going to be better this year for Checo. Like, let's do a quick little poll. Let's do a quick little poll while we. I'll stick that in the background so you're not worried about missing the launch. Let's get a little poll going. So, how will Checo's 2024 compare to 2023? Will it be better? So, will it be much better? Will it be a bit better? Will it be the same? Got to make the most of the 4 options we've got on the polls here. Or will it be worse? So, of course, we're looking at comparison to Max Verstappen as well as how he can conduct himself amongst the other 18 drivers on the grid that are not him and Max. It's frustrating because you know there's a good driver in there. Of course, he's proven it time and time again. But in that car, alongside that driver, be that Max Verstappen, I think Checo. I do think if Checo accepted his place as that second driver in that team, I think he would drive with more freedom and would do a better job than he did in 2023. But of course, that is a huge ask of a F1 driver, especially an F1 driver of Checo's experience, who's been waiting for this kind of opportunity at a top car. I know we kind of had it at McLaren briefly, but that didn't work out. And I almost feel like, if he drove with less... I mean, Mexico is a prime example of just, that was a desperate move on the first lap, all or nothing, and it was nothing. Yeah, Albon did explain it very well in his interview. But Vladis, it's true. It's true. It's true. If Bottas has talked about this with Lewis, it took him, I think he said it took him like 4 seasons to accept his place as number 2, that he wouldn't ever be as quick as Lewis in that team. Although, to be fair, Bottas's worst season at Mercedes was his last season at Mercedes, so yeah. But that's the only way I see it. That's the only way I see it getting any better for him. Truly, that he accepts his place as second driver in that team and sets his goals and ambitions based off of that, at least at the start of the year. But I don't know. Only time will tell, I suppose. Right, okay. I mean, that's almost certainly going to be music that will get this stream banned. Right, what are you lot saying in that? In response to that poll anyway? How will Checo's 24 compare to 23? 4% of you think it will be much better. 35% of you think it will be a bit better. 39% think it'll be the same, and 21% will think it'll be even worse than last year. The concern, the bigger concern, it's not so much Max, it's assuming everyone else will have caught up somewhat. Because if that is the case, if everyone does, breach that gap, then, he could be in a whole... I mean, he qualified on average P9, which was the 8th best in F1 last year. He finished second in the Drivers' Championship, but he qualified on average P, I think 9 point something. So he was the eighth best qualifier. He was, which is not good. Right. Anyway, here we go. Oh yeah, obviously 20 years of Red Bull racing since they took the reins at Jag. Thank you, Pit Lane Pulse, for the super chat. Worse. Merc, Ferrari, McLaren, Aston to improve. Tough, innit? Got a sign off in Milton Keynes. Trying to make Milton Keynes look culturally relevant. Milton Keynes is getting a big shout out here, isn't it? Jeez. The home of the roundabout. The RB1, indeed. Indeed. The home of the greatest football club. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. Sorry. Sorry, the Dons. Red Bull are very good at this kind of stuff, to be fair, aren't they? Oh, little Red Bull powertrain shout out with the old Ford badge in the background. Getting a little mention there. Obi, oh, there we go. There's Derek. That is a cool wall. That is a very cool wall.
Rewrote the script of motorsports with a team that's become the forever rebels of Formula One. The racing establishment wrote them off as just a fizzy drinks company.
Hey, Swindon has the better roundabout. Do you think?
Red Bull Racing. As we launch this 20th
I think I've been Milton Keynes once in my life.
Is a culture, a
when I was a wee lad.
That's changed Formula One forever. Let's take a look at those last
spinning around.
Of doing it the Red Bull way.
Very, very smooth. See, this is all pre-recorded. A bit louder. Okay.
Red Bull have a different way of operating with the emphasis on people being themselves.
When we come together as a team, we like to feel unstoppable and let people know where we stand. Do something that no one else has done before. Makes us feel like a family.
Flying F1 cars.
Welcome to my world, the world of Red Bull.
When you look at some of the other projects that Red Bull are involved in, the extreme sports,
energy drink
we're
shilling.
mostly proud to carry the Red Bull logo. It's become iconic in Formula One.
Like the drink. It's not very nice.
Will, and if you have an idea,
it's not pleasant.
Things are possible.
You know, I didn't want to let
this
it
is
down.
pre-recorded. No way.
Probably not.
Live edited
When I
this.
first joined Red Bull, huge change culturally.
People saw Red Bull as a party
It's
team.
cider
They
o'clock.
wanted to do things differently. You know when something just feels right, and there was a natural chemistry from those very first interactions. You know,
that was a
are they
sketchy
completely
crash.
Mad? Is it just
Pre-Halo.
Are they serious? You know, who's this kid, Christian Horner? And take a massive risk.
What a ride.
Let's add a stunt.
And then we're third, and that was the first podium, you know, for the team. So it was a massive achievement.
Christian featuring quite heavily in this, which is interesting.
Well, anyway, are you still watching that, David? That looks like Sebastian Vettel went right into the side of
Livery got leaked. I mean, you're probably looking at a picture of the RB19.
How uncomfortable it is to call that between those two guys.
I mean, sorry, that incident was set. That incident was so on set. He literally drove into weather. But I'm sorry. That was ridiculous. I still can't believe how in his our Seb had any entitlement to be fuming about that. He literally drove into me.
We have to remember these days, there's no guarantee that they will last forever.
But fine words from Seb, no guarantee they'll last forever. Absolutely right. And Ricardo's making it. Oh, I wonder if Albon will make a feature in here. Probably not. Webber turned in. Good joke, Loopy Leo. Good joke. Mark got his wings there, didn't he? Jeez. The Ricardo scream. Albon spinning. Can't wait for that. That's a great little scrap. Max and Charles, Austria. What a scrap.
First time ever, a Mexican driver on the podium in his home race.
Yeah, 21. Oh, of course. Of course.
So proud of you. Oh my God, guys. I love you so much.
They put it in.
Max, you have been absolutely mighty this year. You've led over 1,000 laps, 19 victories. That's history.
You have just overtaken Ascari. That's a record from 1952, mate.
Yeah, we did that. It has been an absolute privilege watching you drive this car that's been built by a team.
Apologies any Lewis fans, but I mean, you're watching the Red Bull launch. What do you expect?
Max Verstappen wins 19.
Why is someone doing a kickflip? When it says Max Verstappen wins 19. I don't think Max was doing the kickflip though, was it? It's a cool little edit. Can't begrudge them that. Can't begrudge them that at all.
Please welcome two men who have been a part of the story from the very start.
There's Christian.
CEO and team principal of Oracle Red Bull Racing, Christian Horner. Oh yeah, and we've got Oracle Red Bull Racing legend,
And
David Coulthard.
Coulthard.
Gentlemen, it's great to see you both. And as we just watched there, it's been quite the journey you've been on as a team. Now, Christian, I'll come to you first because you're now CEO and team principal of arguably one of the world's most successful high-performance companies. But it all started back when you were just 31 years old, no former experience in Formula One. I mean, reflecting
Oh my
on
God,
that
we've got
as a journey,
15
how did it
minutes
all
till the
start?
car reveal.
It started, as you say, 20 years ago, and looking at some of those videos, we're all looking a little younger there. It's been quite a journey. And,
why?
You know what we've crammed into 20 years.
Why do we have why have we got to wait 15 minutes to see the same car as last year?
Yeah, it's been very special.
Many highs which came from you, of course, David. Going back to 2004 when you first joined the team. What made you want to work with Christian and David?
Fair enough.
I've known Christian actually from,
I mean, pre-recorded, so can we fast forward this? Can I fast forward this?
I'd already decided I wasn't going to race for them because I just didn't believe in the future investment. But when
it
I
worked.
met them, it was absolutely clear this was more than just a branding exercise. This was an absolute
15 minutes to see last
very
year's
first
car.
meeting,
I know, right?
Said our goal was to win the world
What a
championship.
privilege!
It really took me back.
What
I'm thinking,
a
we
privilege,
haven't even got to the first
Yapathon,
race.
indeed.
Never mind what about building a team that can compete against your Ferraris and the
thank you, Wingcat, by the way, for the super chat.
Christian's leadership, along with all of the great technical.
I only launched them on time for this year, and I already know what will be in it. Well,
incredible. So when we started,
did you know that they'd be waffling for
people in one factory down
20 minutes,
at the bottom
25
of
minutes?
this road? Now we've got the whole
Coulthard replaces Perez.
1,500 people or so employed
and counting. Yeah.
Such an incredible journey. And
see about that.
of course, it was clear from the off that you guys
We'll
meant business because in your first race, sorry, Jaguar, to throw you in here, but in the first race, they scored more points
Bring
than
back the
Jaguar
1
had
minute. I mean, this couldn't be
entire
more
previous
opposites
season,
than
just
Mercedes.
saying. And then shortly thereafter, of course, this happened.
Mercedes
So take us
literally
through that moment
hard
where you got
cut
your
to the
first
livery.
podium with Red Bull.
Yeah, well, Monaco's
That
a
was
circuit
it.
that I always went
Just
well,
immediately.
So I was confident
Here's the
that, even though
livery.
we were still a developing team.
Then
there was,
waffle.
an opportunity in a track like that to get a result. So
There you go.
I was convinced.
Also,
we were capable of making
actually,
it,
no,
certainly
I'll
into some
remind
good
you
point
later.
scoring position. But a podium, of course, is
To,
a landmark for the
to
team.
watch
Look,
my
I mean,
Mercedes
it was the first
redesign
trophy,
video.
and it's very proudly in
Actually,
our,
already
in our
working.
cabinet.
Any
You know, David,
I've already
was such an
done
important part
a
of
big chunk
the
of
early
my
part
Red
of
Bull livery
racing, and
redesign.
again, here we are 20 years with it.
Does anyone have
still
any
associated and
suggestions,
working with the brand.
recommendations?
Absolutely. And so would you say that that was the moment that you really felt you'd arrived as a team?
I think it was an important
And to be honest,
moment
I am
because,
actually going to
that
see if I can
trophy
find it.
represented, what was
If
to
there are
come,
any
and it also
proper
represented
good
that we were
resolution
prepared to do
images
things
that
a
have
little
leaked, I'm
differently,
just going
seeing
to find
David
them,
standing on a
because
podium in front of
otherwise we're
Prince
just sitting
Albert in
here.
a Superman cap.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
on
okay,
Red Bull's
so
first
the
podium
livery
just showed that,
is out.
You know, we were doing it differently. We were doing it the Red Bull way.
This is
I
good.
think it's important to mention.
We're not going to have to
Formula One was
wait
quite a
forever.
closed shop. You didn't go into the other teams. It was very much, each team was its own entity. Red Bull opened the door to the paddock and said the other teams were welcome. And at first you could see other team members sort of nervously walking up into the energy station thinking, is something going to happen? And then over time it just changed.
Let me
the
just
whole
put that in my
philosophy of Formula
downloads,
One,
and
the
then
paddock
what I'm
is
going
a
to
much
do,
friendlier place because of
David Coulthard,
Absolutely. And I know
you're
you
going to
credit
have
a
to
lot of
take a
this
little
down
bit
to
of a
team
back seat
culture.
here, David,
How important would you say that is in
because
terms of
here it
success?
is.
It's everything. The men and women here in Milton Keynes.
Here it is.
All the people behind the scenes.
Big
it's
up
out of
decal
these
spotters.
Industrial buildings that we've created some of the most
Goodbye,
incredible
me.
cars over the
Let me
last
put that there.
19 seasons, and the late
Here
nights, the
is
hours,
the Red Bull.
the sacrifices that are made.
Put that
it
there.
is a culture. It's a very inclusive culture. It's a team culture.
Wow!
Formula One is
It's
the
the
biggest team sport in the
same.
world, and without the people, you have nothing. And it's the people who are your single biggest asset.
Absolutely. Now,
I'm going to turn that down a little bit so we can focus. Right. Okay. So obviously this render is not giving too much away in terms of the floor. The floor is certainly not giving anything away, is it? It's smooth AF. The livery is literally the same, by the way. Like literally the same. Literally the same. So whatever. These overbites look really interesting, though, didn't they? Those overbites look very, very interesting. You got to wonder, like, Red Bull kind of pioneered the underbite. You'd think people would have, let's give a slight overbite a go as well. But no, apparently not. It's like, it just must be that must be the meta. To go with a bit of an overbite. Very interesting. Very interesting. So they're not giving anything away with the floor, are they? And otherwise, to be honest. But the main thing is the shoulders, isn't it? The main bit is the shoulders. The shoulders are very Mercedes-esque, and I'll be honest, I kind of already knew that the shoulders were higher because I've literally been on Twitter today. So these are the Mercedes shoulders from the 2023 car, driven by Lewis in this picture. You can see how from the halo it comes down very high, very prominent shoulder. And I mean, the similarity is pretty clear and obvious.
Different views, different ideas, different personalities.
AlphaTauri had the shoulders, did they? To be fair, I didn't notice them. I noticed it more on the Williams. Yeah, you don't see my cursor. I know. It's because I've dragged an image on, so you can't see the cursor.
We are now joined by Group Chief Technology Officer.
But yeah, the similarities are very clear and obvious. Oh, here's Adrian, by the way. Right, let's get your Adrian Newey out. There he is. There he is. What a genius. What a man. What a man.
So I have to ask you, was it a bit of a bromance
going
on that brought you to Red Bull?
It turns out the three teams that David...
Bit of a bromance that brought you to Red Bull.
Same three teams that I've worked for, and so I've known David since he was a wee test driver, very young.
I mean, I guess. I mean, he's got a bit of a bromance with Zach as well, no?
He then moved to McLaren, I moved to McLaren a year after. He moved to Red Bull.
Adam, thank you for the super chat. Are they blowing smoke up Horner as a farewell? Honestly, Adam, I would read nothing into. This is just going to be... This launch is just going to be as if there's no allegations, there's no nothing. That's literally what it's going to be. So I wouldn't take any I wouldn't take anything from this. if I was you. Thank you, Pulse, as well, for the super chat. What's Newey cooking on that W14 engine cover? I know. Adnis as well. Can we call the shoulders neck meat instead? I don't know, Adnis. I don't know if I'm feeling neck meat. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm about that neck meat, you know. You can call it neck meat all you like, mate, but I don't think I'm gonna go with neck meat. I think I'm gonna go with shoulders. No? I think that's gonna be my my term of choice.
So out of all of this sort of, mess going on in my head about the journey around
David
the
having a little waffle.
Just focus on what you need to go quicker, and that
shoulder banger.
Successful for him and his team.
That's another interesting one.
Now, Christian, of course, even the greatest teams go through challenging moments, and fast forwarding now to 2014, when Mercedes started to look a little bit unbeatable. How did you stay resilient as a team?
I'm going to hang around until I'll see on Twitter if they've put any more images.
There was a big regulation change. We'd gone from enjoying huge success with Sebastian Vettel and those 4 consecutive World Championships, and suddenly
they're not
for reasons
posted
beyond our control.
themselves,
we didn't have an engine that could compete with the likes of what Mercedes had come up with. So suddenly it was about keeping the group together, keeping the team together, staying focused on addressing the weak point, and focusing on the things that we could control, and things that where we could be strong. And I think it was that team spirit, it was that togetherness,
not little blurry imagery.
We didn't lose key members of the team during that period, and we were able to win races every single year bar one, until we got ourselves in a position with a competitive engine to suddenly then be able to go for a championship again.
Now, we've spoken a lot about the past, but I know that Red Bull is a lot about the future, and in particular, backing young talent through the Red Bull Academy program,
11s versus 33s.
Cash App RB and Oracle Red Bull Racing. How important is it to you to bring in those fresh new names?
Well, look, it's really exciting, and I think Red Bull have committed.
How do you lot feel about the whole? I know Zach Brown's been talking about it a lot recently.
With Oracle Red
How do you lot feel about the whole Red Bull owning 2 teams, 2 competitive teams? I guess that's Zach Brown's point is more like when there was a big gulf between the top and bottom teams.
To embrace female racing.
Didn't worry about it so much as an issue.
Let's have a look at that next generation of racing and some very exciting young female talent.
I don't know.
I'm Emily de Heus. And I'm Hamda Al-Kubaisi, and I'm part of the Red Bull Academy program.
Go wild and change everything about the
livery. 4 years ago, I couldn't even think about being part of Red Bull.
Well, I have done that in the past. I feel like this year's one, I'm going to try and keep it a bit more similar to the real thing.
My ambitions for next season is I want to win, I want to be champion, of course. I feel like Red Bull has done many
I've seen some people be
not
like,
just in motorsport. It's exciting to be part of it.
Oh, well, McLaren have an engine deal with Mercedes.
And here they are in the flesh from the Red Bull Academy program. It's Hamda Al-Kubaisi and Emily de Heus.
It's not really the same, is it?
All right, so Hamda, I'll come to you first.
Well, yeah, considering Andretti can't join, but Red Bull can have 2 teams.
Racing.
Yeah, I mean
that. Tell us a bit about your journey
that
into
feels
motorsport
like,
and how this program is helping you.
I mean, for a fact, if Haas.
Yeah, I got into karting when I was 12
Alpha
years old,
Tauri Racing Bulls, whatever you want to call them.
From there we moved up the ladder.
Like if Red Bull proposed, right, we want to make a second team in F1, there is absolutely no way that gets through. And if Haas proposed their current system as a new team now, there's no way they get through.
Red Bull family, and what was your journey into motorsport like?
But obviously the argument is that Haas and all that and have been there through COVID and the tough times where a lot of teams almost went under and deserve to be rewarded. But I mean, you see in other sports, even in football, there's a bit more of a conversation. Isn't it like Man City and Girona? They're both owned by the City Group.
So Christian, looking at this, seeing the amazing young talent, how special does it feel to know that Red Bull are offering these incredible opportunities?
Having one entity literally owning 2 teams, 2 of 10 teams, so 1/5 of the grid of this entire sport is just 10 teams, and they own 1/5. I've never liked that. I've never, from a sporting integrity point of view, I've never liked that.
Well, best of luck for this season. Thank you very much, Hamda and Emily. So I'm now back with Christian Horner, Adrian Newey, and technical director
Pierre
Washe. Welcome.
Pierre Washe.
So now we are going
There
to
he
hope
is,
that
genius.
big reveal of the RB20.
He's the man who takes these
before we do
ideas
that,
and puts it
take a
and
moment
makes
to reflect
it
on the RB19
happen, you know?
because I mean it was a record-breaking car, such an incredible
it's still crazy
machine.
that Andretti
So
didn't get
Adrian,
that in.
it'd be great if you could take us back to the drawing board.
The 19 really was very much an evolution of the RB18 of 22. Last year's car really was a total surprise in terms of its dominance, I have to say, because we went into that winter of 22-23 thinking, yeah, Mercedes won a race near the end in Brazil, Ferrari was still winning races. It was still very tight, and on our side we just concentrated on kind of improving some of the weaknesses of the 22 car. And to our complete shock,
Cheers,
really,
Brandon,
by
for becoming a member.
half season, it was becoming pretty evident that we had a march on our competitors.
And Pierre, I know that you love that thrill of competition.
I think
that we've
Adrian knew
spoken
deep
about.
down.
Is that what helps you to constantly
The thing
push
is,
to find
again,
an edge?
Yes, for sure. But you know,
it's quite a unique season 23 in terms of that car did not dominate qualifying.
But to have this success,
dominate qualifying.
You need
Was
to
it the
have
best
all
qualifying car on average? Yes. Did it dominate?
With
Absolutely not.
Then the competition is at each level, and for
they
sure,
cooked. They cooked in race.
Great.
And Christian, what brief did you give
I feel like we
these
saw
guys
that more
before they
than.
were deciding?
I thought that was more
look,
prominent
that's
than
not up to me, but
than ever.
The 23 car was really an update.
Crazy.
The 22 car, and operationally, I think Max was insane the way that he drove last year. So
he was.
Max all of those records,
Max was the differentiating factor.
Victories,
Max is what made that car dominant.
Achieved first and second in the drivers' championship, something we'd never done before.
I think with that, with a driver not at Max's level, that car still probably would have. It would have won the constructors and drivers title.
Everybody in every department doing their bit.
But Max made it
those
dominant.
Kind of results. It was a magical year.
What's the changes for this year's car?
You have to keep pushing. We've made some improvements to the car in all areas, mechanical, vehicle dynamics and aerodynamics. Is that enough? Who knows? We shall have to see.
Watch this space. And Pierre, do you feel the same way?
I think Minton's going mad downstairs.
Just
I can vaguely
try to
hear
identify where we can gain performance on the car. Try to also understand where weakness for the driver. And after it's just an evolution of what we did in the previous year.
Oh, come on, Red Bull.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. It's great to hear your insights. And now we've made it to that moment that we've all been waiting for, the big reveal. It's your first sight of a car that's going to be making fresh Red Bull history.
How's it going to look, chap? Imagine if it was an all-white livery. Imagine if they just fully rug pulled. Imagine all them leaks were purposeful and they just rug pulled all of us. Imagine. That would be a true marketing, absolute genius move. It's absolutely not going to happen. But just imagine. Look, we've already seen. Look, they've all. It's the same car, aesthetically. It's certainly not the same car, aerodynamically, though, is it? Oh, all of the. That is such a. Everyone just holding their camera phones up. It's so depressing, isn't it? Let's do it. Nah, I'm sorry. Right, this livery might be a bit boring because we see it time and time again, but you can't. It is a banging livery, no question. No question. It's just so. It's iconic now. That it stands out from a mile off. It's got the high shoulders, or neck meat. Look at that. I mean.
And here she is in the flesh. The RB20,
there she
everyone.
is.
Joining us are the two drivers who will be behind the wheel of this beauty. Please welcome three-time and reigning world champion Max Verstappen and Mexico's mighty Minister of Defense.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh, that was painful. He gets the Minister of Defense title.
Congratulations on this
Max,
incredible car.
Three-time world champion, Checo.
Yeah, I mean,
Minister of Defense.
You can see it's an evolution of.
They both look like they're waiting, like they're lining up for a free kick, like they're in a wall.
The guys haven't been, it's not conservative, and you can see they've been.
When you're someone like Lane, look, Max is literally, he's playing for PSV. He's lining up for a free kick.
Behind the scenes have been working very hard, and
the mighty Minister of Defense. Oh, bless him.
And Max, I'll come to you next.
Bless
You've
him.
had one of the most incredible,
Right, have we got any renders?
Most incredible season in Formula One.
We've got any renders?
Last
There
year.
we
you
go.
broke your own
Right,
record
okay.
for the most race wins in a season.
Yeah, same renders we've already seen. Front on.
How excited
This
are you
is
to be
this is
driving
gas.
the RB20? And are we
Look.
confident?
Right, okay. Right, there's no more on that waffle. This is gas because we know there's a slot under the nose here. So this is already waffle. So these renders are showing us nothing. They are showing a bit of an overbite, but look, this is fully blacked out. They've fully blacked this out for a reason because they don't want people seeing. They don't want people seeing what they're up to at Red Bull Racing, do they? And that is the most generic front wing ever. Red Bull. You've shown us. They've shown us like as if you've like blurred it and then like reanimated it. So you've lost all the detail. They've just left the high shoulders in just to wind up Mercedes, I reckon. I reckon that the shoulders, the neck bulge, whatever you call it. Look, we can't see the inlet. They're not showing us. They're not showing us. Look, this floor is like if I designed it. This is literally a Tommo Special. So yeah, there we go. Red Bull RB20 is here, but this is not the RB20. This is definitely not the RB20. This is a very diluted version of the Red Bull RB20. And they stole actually look, literally start the same picture. And they stole Mercedes neck bulges. I'm not calling it that again. The thief of the neck bulge. There you go. Anyway, that's a wrap. Thank you all for coming along. That is 10 streams for all 10 cars. So I appreciate you all sticking around and watching these with me. HSW, John, Gnome, Marcos, Farmer, Liv, Bob, User, Lucas, Najmi, Awkward, War, Elias, Lalo, Jason, Grey Diesel, Isaac, Fabrizio, no thank you, Mike, Mikel, Sava, Kleiner, Liam, Ollie, Sense, Wincap, Arsenti, Noaru, Fabian, Jimmy, Laddie, Solace. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for giving me your time. Thank you all for watching these streams. It's been good fun. Don't forget to go and watch my Mercedes redesign, which I put live earlier today. And I'm going to try and look at this Red Bull and make it better. That's my plan anyway. I know I've not improved all of them. Some of my redesigns have gone down really well. Some of them not so well. And that's good. And that's fine. And I love that. It's a banging livery. Come on. But yeah, thank you all for taking the time. I'm going to go now and get some dinner. Eat dinner. I think Hannah brought dinner back. So hopefully she brought something nice back. Thank you all for coming again. Appreciate you all taking the time. Appreciate the super chats. Red Bull redesign will come out tomorrow. And I might do a podcast tomorrow as well, going over everything. A nice long form Chinwag, because we haven't done one of them for a while. So appreciate you all for stopping by. Have a good evening. And Red Bull video tomorrow and podcast tomorrow live here on the Tommo YouTube channel. So don't forget to like this stream and subscribe. Thank you all. Appreciate you all. Goodbye. Adios. Ciao, adios. I'm done.